Yeah, I know. Aquan picked
Yeah.
up my Ray Rice, or not Ray Rice, Rashi Rice, because I
Yeah.
had him on my roster for a long time. Because
Yeah.
obviously he was my keeper, and then I had him on IR. But I needed a spot for a player
Yeah.
like 2 weeks ago. I dropped him. As soon as I dropped him, he scooped him up and put him in his IR spot. And I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
crazy how quick he did
Yeah.
it too. And I was like, damn, all right.
Yeah.
Which is funny because he's like in second place. I'm like, dang, all right, I
Yeah.
see how it is.
He's already thinking.
No, he is. I was like, all right, damn. All
Yeah.
right. I mean, who knows? So yeah, I lost my keeper from this year, which I mean, it's all right. I guess
Yeah. I mean, but
I'll
but
figure
again,
something out.
you don't know um how next year's going to shape up. That
Oh
receiving
yeah,
core is just all
yeah,
over the place.
it
Who
is.
you like?
Especially
Uh, yeah, because I honestly didn't think Rasheed Rice was going to be it this year, until his injury, obviously. But
yeah, I know with
I
all the
really, yeah,
allegations and all that.
because he wasn't even like rated. I thought he was going to get suspended all games, and
Yeah,
with all the players around him, I didn't think he was going to be good. So yeah, honestly, it's hard to pinpoint which ones. Who knows? Xavier Worthy might be the next Rasheed Rice next year. You never know.
yeah, that's true. That
Yeah,
is true. I know. Yeah, and plus, who knows how long DeAndre Hopkins wants to stick around over there too.
yeah. I
So,
mean, if he wins the Super Bowl, I'm sure he's coming back for one more year.
oh yeah, he might as well.
Yeah, yeah,
That would be kind of cool, I guess.
yeah,
I mean, he's been pretty solid.
yeah. He has.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
guess we'll find out. Thanks for tuning in to Yappin and Shit, where we as brothers and friends hop on the mics and have conversations. Sometimes they're serious, sometimes they're not. Sometimes we react, and sometimes we just yap. We appreciate you tuning in and hope you enjoy the episode.
How's everything? How's everything with you?
Oh, it's all good. I know. Was this episode right after Christmas?
Yeah, yeah,
Well, hope everyone had a good Christmas, I guess, for those that
yeah.
are
By the
listening.
time you hear this, yeah,
Yeah, and Happy New Year, because we're a couple days out from New Year's.
yeah.
Oh,
Anything
this is
this?
weird. This is actually, yeah, this is the last episode of the year,
Yeah,
technically, of this
we'll
year.
probably drop. Um, it'll probably drop first of the year actually. So this is
No,
right.
what? No, I think at the December 30th, I think is the release
Oh,
date.
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
So
cool.
it's December 30th today for those listening. Not to throw
Yeah,
dates out there,
yeah,
but yeah, we're almost to 2025. This is the last episode 2024.
yeah.
And I know typically, do we do a recap is our last episode of the year typically our recap, or is it the first episode of the new year?
I think
What
in
do we
this
normally do?
case, probably the first of the year. So probably the episode right after this is going to be a recap and a New Year's resolution episode.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we'll do
Yeah,
that. We'll kind of recap the holiday. We'll go dive into the, resolutions.
yeah,
We've talked about resolutions for years, but we'll talk
yeah.
about that, and then we'll probably do a recap, either that first episode or the second episode. Really
Right.
depends. Maybe we'll wait for some metrics to come out, so it might be that second episode of the new year, but who knows?
Right. Yeah, we'll see how it shapes up. But other than that, man, it's wishing everyone a good happy new year and a good end to this 2024 year. It's been a wild ride all over the place, and so we're hoping everyone ends it on a good note and starts the new year on even a better note in a better year. So yeah, we'll see what happens during the next episode when we do a recap and see what's all going on.
Oh yeah, yeah. It'll be interesting to see
Yeah.
all the different things.
Other than that, life's been pretty good. What do you
Yeah.
travel in?
I'll be traveling. I mean, by the time this episode airs, I'll actually probably be back in California.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm in Washington, for like 9 days, I think, 8 days
Yeah.
technically.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good holiday break, man. Wishing the
Yeah.
best for everybody.
Oh yeah. It'll be nice to kind of just get away and
Yeah,
get home and do all the things and kind
yeah,
of do all the things, I guess. Yeah.
yeah. Well, make this a quick and short, sweet episode so that everybody can get on with their night and enjoy the rest of the last couple weeks or last couple weeks before the new year. So let's jump into a couple of our random topics. Keep it light and sweet for this one, light and happy, and we'll start with this one. Um, so I just read recently. I don't know if you saw it because I don't know if it's like highly promoted or not. At least from what I see, it's not highly promoted. But um, Amazon sells cars now. Did you know that? Like legit cars. We're not talking about well, right now, so they officially launched their Amazon Auto services. And it's only in the lower 48 states, so nothing in Alaska, Hawaii yet.
Right.
But and they're currently only partnered with Hyundai. So technically, yes, they're selling cars, but only Hyundai. And these are new cars too. We're not talking about third-party sellers. We're talking about like legit. You could finance your purchase, schedule picks up, trade in your existing cars. And guess what? Because it's Amazon, you can literally buy a brand new Hyundai through your app right now. No special apps. Your current Amazon app. And I actually, when I read this article, I actually Googled it.
Yeah.
Or not Googled it, went on the Amazon app on my phone and typed in a Hyundai. And sure enough, it's Amazon Auto Services. If I wanted to, I can buy a car, a new Hyundai right now. And Hyundai has some pretty good electric vehicles. If you were never into them before, but maybe you wanted to venture into like electric vehicles. That's not a Tesla. Check out the website, or sorry, not even the website. Check out your app and type in Hyundai. It's so fucking crazy. Let me see.
Yeah, just get in there, search for your groceries, your everyday items,
Yeah,
then you can pop over and see cars. I don't know. It's kind
yeah,
of crazy.
and
Wait, what was that?
it's
Hold on.
literally
Just open this. For a limited time, if you buy a car, you get a $2,300 Amazon gift card. Look at that.
Yep.
That's
Are you
insane.
looking up at the app right now?
Well, no, I just pulled it up on Amazon, but I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, dude. Oh yeah,
How
the
do they ship it to you?
Ioniq
Do they
6.
Oh, I guess that's a free pickup. Never mind.
Yeah,
That's my
I'm
own
sure they
question.
work with. I'm sure they work with like, depending on where you're at. I'm sure they work with like a local Hyundai.
Oh yeah, no, for
Um,
sure.
yeah, it's the only thing that makes sense. But yeah, man.
These are decent prices too. I mean, not that
Yeah, no, I was looking at the prices.
it's kind of
Actually, for new cars, I was like, that's tempting. Um,
it actually. I'm just like, oh wow, that's kind of cool. How much is a
yeah.
Santa Fe though? Let's
Oh,
see.
Santa Fe's are nice. Is that Hyundai or
Um,
Kia? I was getting confused.
that's Hyundai.
Oh, I
I
actually
think
like the Santa Fe.
I think Kia has do they have the Palisade? Is that what it is? Or is that or
Yeah.
maybe that is Hyundai as well. I have no idea.
Oh, they sell a Kona, which I drove in when I was in Iceland. I thought that was like specific to just Iceland. But yeah, man, I'm looking at the Santa Fe now, which is an awesome car, by the way.
Yeah.
All-wheel drive, automatic. Oh, yo, that is crazy. It's a four-cylinder. So
Really?
it's
Oh wow.
technically it's a crossover. It's not a full SUV,
Oh.
which is very attractive for you and I because we both have the Outback, which is a crossover. Yeah, dude, I'm just looking up the specs.
Oh wow.
Santa Fe looks bigger, right, compared to an Outback,
Yeah.
but no, and so I naturally just assume it's a SUV. No, dude, it's a four-cylinder.
Huh.
Yeah,
No, no,
and
yeah.
the price is actually very, very good.
That's not bad.
We're looking at like mid like sub 35 um for a brand new one.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
Palisade. The Palisade is Hyundai as well.
Yeah, I see
Oh,
it.
interesting.
Um
Well, there's your
That
six.
one's definitely an SUV, 6 liters, 6 cylinder.
Yeah,
Um.
interesting.
Anyways, yeah. Um.
Oh, go look at
If you're
that.
watching us on video, check out the link in the box for a. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right.
For a 50% discount on a Hyundai.
Yeah,
No, I'm just kidding. All you got to
sponsor
do
us,
is
please.
subscribe. All you got to do is subscribe to unlock the 50% discount on the Hyundai. No, just kidding. No, how crazy would that
Crazy.
be?
How do you
But
do this? Oh
honestly,
yeah,
man,
just begin purchase. Look at that.
yeah, dude, yeah.
That's a,
I haven't clicked on that far because I didn't want to accidentally purchase anything, but
here.
I'm
Let
sure
me.
it gets to the
I'm
point.
just curious. I'm gonna begin the purchase. Oh, why did it save it for later? No, I don't want this. Don't save this. Oh God, what did I do? Well, looks like I'm getting a Santa Fe. I'm just kidding. It's literally saved in here. No, don't go away. Go to saved cars. I'm gonna remove this. This is why we can't be delete. Here we go. Can't be multitasking while we're doing a podcast. We need like a
Yeah.
production company.
Buying a car live on
Yeah,
on the episode.
that's crazy.
Yeah. Um.
Surely it wouldn't. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No. So I clicked just buy. I just curious.
Mhm.
So it gives you the option to finance, or you can pay in full. Um, which that's kind of insane. You're just gonna
Yeah.
pay in full on Amazon. That's insane.
Yeah.
What? All right. Anyways, however, it is
How's
the same price whether you finance or pay in full. Apparently,
yeah. So no
um,
discount. That's
no
probably the
discount.
only downside of like being not able to negotiate or haggle.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, but I'm sure if you think about it, since it's Amazon is partnering with them, but is now technically the third party, I'm sure
yeah.
they negotiate a good price on our behalf already, you know?
Yeah. Oh, that was
Yeah.
interesting. I mean, it seemed pretty simple. It just said pick an address where you want this because it has to be tied to whatever address because it pulls up your address book from whenever you send things to
Yeah, yeah,
people.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of funny. So
You
what
could buy a
you
car
could
for
buy a
somebody.
car for somebody else. I mean, you would need
So
their information,
yeah, but
but that's
I mean
interesting.
technically, well, um kind of yes and no, right? Technically, let's say you buy it in full in cash,
Yeah, no, this is true. You
and
can purchase it and then
yeah,
transfer the deed
the
over
title
the
later.
title and stuff.
But
Huh,
but dude, so
that's
I was
clever.
reading I've been seeing a lot of memes lately on Instagram and stuff, especially during the holidays, where a lot of people are talking shit about like who the fuck buys a car for as a gift, right?
Yeah,
Without asking, like, all the car commercials that we see during the
yeah,
holidays
yeah, yeah,
where your significant other just wakes up to a random car.
yeah.
It's like, who the fuck does that, outside of being a celebrity, obviously, or multi-millionaire. But this might change the game for Amazon. can,
Literally.
can you imagine, just like, I don't know, let's say your favorite child is off to college. They're doing great. They're doing a good job. Because they're hustling, they're studying hard. They're also just trying to make a living for themselves across the country on their campus. They're staying home for Christmas. And you're like, you know what? I'm a they've done so good in their lives. We raised them so well, and they continue to take on the torch. I'm gonna buy them a brand new car. It's gonna show up in front of their apartment on Christmas morning. You know,
Yeah.
now we can make that dream a reality, and it's not fiction anymore. Like the commercials are showing us, we can literally buy a car at Amazon and ship it to somebody's house.
That's so crazy. Also, I don't know if you've explored the auto function, but
No, not
like
really.
before you go into the car, like it says, it's funny because obviously I don't know if I've shopped on Amazon for something for my car, or maybe it's
Yeah.
just somewhere in my profile already. But when I went in, like the top thing is like Amazon confirmed fit, find parts for your vehicle, and it's like 2016 Subaru Outback, and then it just says find parts, and then you click on that, and it gives you every accessory and part that you might need or
Yep.
might be
Actually,
ordering,
I've
and I'm
seen
like,
that.
oh,
Yep.
that's kind of nice, which is nice because then you're not paying like, you know $80 for an air filter at the dealership when you can buy an air filter on here. Granted, they're not pop $12. $12. I take it back. I have ordered an air filter on here because it's much easier to change yourself. And I'm not paying $80 for it to get changed.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you just pay to get your air filter changed or if you do it yourself, but it's actually relatively easy to
It's
do
easy,
it.
yeah.
It's
You go through
relatively
you go through the glove compartment.
yeah.
I did it before by myself. I bought the part. Honestly, it just depends um on my servicing that day or how lazy I'm feeling. Sometimes
Yeah.
I'm just like, how much is the extra labor cost?
Yeah.
And usually depending on what I'm doing, I've actually worked out a deal where they're just like, you know, just pay for the part,
Yeah. Yeah. It just
since I'm
depends
there.
on
But
it depends on how much of a service you're doing. I mean, if it's
yeah,
like a $2,500 service, I'm like, can you just I don't
yeah,
know, just pay for the part here?
yeah,
What are we doing? Like I'm giving you a shit ton of money right now. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Stem caps, I can replace that. That's not an issue.
yeah,
Like $5. And you get probably like 12. It's
yeah,
not even one.
yeah, yeah.
Uh
No, it's pretty wild, man. But yeah,
yeah. Oh man. I just looking at this because I was curious. I'm like, this is a nice little bristle cleaning brush for detailing. I
mm,
feel like I kind of need this. It's only
yeah,
$5.
yeah.
If I order it now, it'll be here after we leave. But I'm not going to buy it right now. But it's nice. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll add that to a
So
wish
you said
list
there
or
was
something.
like a car, automotive. I see.
Yeah, Amazon
Uh,
Autos. It's in
Yep.
beta.
Amazon Autos is I'm looking at the app now, is where you can buy the Hyundai and then there's automotive parts and accessory. Oh, look at that. My Outback's already
It's
I guess I
already
bought some things
populated.
before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and then
Oh
once you click
man.
on find parts, it just pulls up all the accessories and parts that people purchase for for our car because we have the same car.
Yeah.
And that's kind of nice, honestly.
Uh
Look at Amazon just literally controlling the world. That's fine. No big deal.
seriously, man. Even before we know it.
I know, right?
Um
Dang, there's so many of these things. I'm like, oh, I don't really need anything for my car, but looking at this, I'm like, oh,
yeah, like I
that's
kind of
kind
want to just
of it's kind
I
of
want to buy
nice.
something.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe I'll get that.
Cool.
Oh yeah,
All
like
right.
that center console microfiber leather car armrest with pockets. That's
um
nice.
see
It's
what else.
$12. Anyways, we're going down a rabbit hole at this point, but
Yeah, we are.
I'm like, no, this is a nice feature.
Yeah. For those who knows. Um,
These it's so funny. There's like cup holder coasters, non-slip that you can slip into your like
yeah,
cup holders. And
yeah.
it just says, don't fuck up my car, please. That's funny.
um, Speaking of moving on. Speaking of cars, we'll stay on the subject for a little bit. I just read this today. Um, your Honda and Nissan are right now in discussions to merge. And for those who don't know about cars too much or the financials of cars and the economy, both Honda and Nissan are respectively eighth and ninth in the world in terms of their global shares. But they are clearly well behind Japan, or in Japan specifically, they are clearly, both of them combined, or both of them separately, are well behind Toyota, the king of automotive in Japan. And so I don't know what else they're trying to do to merge, but apparently they're trying to merge to compete with Tesla for the electric, which I guess Toyota on its own is already, with the Prius and stuff like that, is
Right.
already a strong competitor. So Honda and Nissan, instead of being on their own, they're looking to combine companies to compete in the electrical world of things. And for some reason, I don't know who. Do you know who owns Mitsubishi?
Not off the top
Mitsubishi.
of my head.
Um, let's see, Mitsubishi Group. All right, based on Wikipedia. Let's see. Nope, nope. Companies, other members, companies. Let's see. No, I guess Mitsubishi is its own thing.
Right. Okay.
Um,
Yeah, it doesn't really have its own parent company.
yeah, yeah. Just trying to see what else. List of anyways, they said in the article, the deal does include inviting Mitsubishi to merge with them. So that's why I was curious about like, does Honda or does Nissan, is the parent company for Mitsubishi? But no, I guess they're all just trying to dethrone Toyota in Japan. Um, but yeah, it's less of competition within each other. It's more of like they're trying to. It looks like Japan, at least these companies, is taking a heavy bet that electrical vehicles will continue to be popular and strong moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Hmm.
which is pretty crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That would be kind of nice to also see um, Nissan kind of get a lift too.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because Nissan's kind of, there's other obviously Japanese car companies, but Nissan, if you're considering Nissan like one of the top, or one, not top, popular cars, I should say, um, it's definitely lower in the Japanese rankings. We
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
Toyota, we have Honda,
Yeah.
Subaru is in there. Um,
A lot of people say
Obviously,
though, I mean, we have, well, it's basically a vintage car by now, a Nissan Pathfinder from the
yeah,
2000s, my family.
yeah,
If it's a tried and true car, for those who know, for the, if you know, if you, a lot of people's first cars are Nissan Altimas,
yeah.
um, and they do the job. They're not the prettiest looking cars, but they do the job.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, they are
Yeah.
definitely, yeah. Especially in our era, I would say as things kind of went on, Nissan kind of obviously quality went down.
Yeah.
Their turning radiuses are horrible.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
I mean
I
that's
agree
just
with that.
always been a Nissan thing.
Yeah.
And they're just every car that they have is like a boat, like
Yeah, that's
driving a
true.
big
It's
old
really
hoopty,
wide.
man. Like it's wide, it just turns like it honestly, any Nissan kind of acts like a truck if you're familiar with driving a truck.
Yeah.
Zero turn radius, it just seems bulky. Even like the Altima, which is a smaller version.
Yeah.
Nissan Juke isn't really
Never heard of the
supposed to be.
Juke.
Yeah, it's like that small car.
That was a Nissan Juke.
Yeah. Um, but yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah, I know.
Nissan's, it's lower on that. It was more popular back then, I think, just because it was
Oh
like tried
yeah.
and true. Because you had like in Japanese cars back in the 80s and early 90s all looked the same.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was a Toyota, a Honda, or a Nissan,
Mm-hmm.
um, they all had like literally like the same body style and body shape.
Yeah.
Back then it was like very common. But
Yeah.
obviously now things get sleek and they look better and all that stuff. So
Right.
Mazda, I forgot to mention Mazda, just popped in my head, but Mazda is ahead of Nissan technically, with their Mazda 3, and their, you know, it's not CRV, that's Honda, but CX, CX
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. But yeah, no, I mean, in Japanese cars, obviously, like we were talking about this a couple months ago, actually, where they had looked at the safest cars of like 2023, and that was like the report. And I want to say, I think they looked at the top 25 cars,
Yeah.
and I want to say 17 of those cars were Japanese models.
Yeah.
There was a couple Hyundais in there, which, and Kias, which are Korean cars for those listening, if you didn't know that. And really, there was just not too many American made cars in there. There was
Mhm.
like one Ford. I think there was one GMC, but it was at the very bottom of that list.
Yeah.
Um, and like BMW was in there, but that's a German company.
Yeah.
And then even Teslas were in there, but like they didn't rank very high in terms of like safety and all that stuff, which was kind of crazy when you
No,
think about
I've heard. Yeah,
it.
you would think so.
You would think with all
That's
the technology and all the
that
auto
Cybertruck is
braking and
bringing it
all that
down.
stuff. Yes,
Yeah.
Cybertruck, all that stuff. So, but yeah, I would say, the king of just safety and just in general is a lot of uh Toyota cars,
Yeah.
Toyota and Subaru, and Honda's up there pretty good too.
Yeah.
So so it'll be interesting to see if they merge. I think it doesn't hurt anybody other than pride at that point, I
Yeah.
think.
And plus, since it's a international company and it's not a US company, they don't have the same antitrust policy in Japan, right? You
Right.
think? Yeah, so merging, there's nothing to stop them except, within themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, not like the US where we have antitrust laws, meaning that um those laws are in place to like promote, you know, choices, right? And
Mm,
less of like companies owning each other so that you are basically becomes a monopoly.
yeah.
But yeah, I think the US and maybe another country, that's only the case. So, anyways. Um, yeah, anyways, no more cars things. I think we're gonna end the night on talking a little bit about Disney, talking about
Disney.
a couple of shows, yeah. First one, 25 years later in the making. Um, you remember the actor, the name, I'll just say the name. He's our generation actor. Frankie Muniz. When was the last time you heard that name?
Frankie Muniz?
Yeah.
Shoot. A couple of years ago. He's popped up in random things, but it's not like Malcolm in the Middle,
Yeah.
Frankie Muniz. But
Yeah.
that randomly gets brought up, Malcolm in the Middle stuff, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah, yeah, that does. And honestly, man, it's like one of those classic shows that just kind of like pops up in our mind out of nowhere. I don't think I ever saw beginning to end Malcolm in the Middle. Like I would always it's like such a classic like Simpsons, Friends, The Office,
yeah,
Family Guy, where you jump in at any point of any season and you enjoy it, right? Like, I don't think I ever watched an episode from beginning to end. But anyways, you hit the nail on the head. Frankie Muniz, Bryan Cranston, Jane Kaczmarek. Now, besides Frankie Muniz, I don't know any of these names, but Bryan Cranston, for those who don't know, and especially me. I didn't know from the top of my head because I never really watched Breaking Bad. So this is the main character, the old guy, the main character of Breaking Bad, Bryan Cranston. He was in if you for us millennials, if you forgot, he was the dad of Frankie Muniz in Malcolm in the Middle, and the mom, that actress. These three main characters are reprising their role for a special 4 new episode of Malcolm in the Middle that Disney Plus is coming out with. 25 years later since the original first episode launch, Disney Plus is reuniting the main character cast. At least those three. I don't know about the siblings if they're going to be reunited, but at least those three are being reunited for a brand new 4 episode run of Malcolm in the Middle.
that's that's interesting.
It's kind of yeah.
And the reason why I also say interesting, other than the fact that it's Malcolm in the Middle, I literally saw something today or yesterday even about another show coming back in like the original actors reprising their roles for like a short series as well.
I
And
haven't
I
heard about that one.
can't remember what show it was. Now I'm that's
Disney as well.
I feel like it was Disney. I can't recall now. Um, Try to remember where I even saw that to see if I can even look it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let me see. Plus
Oh
reboot.
God, what was that?
Okay, so when I search actors reprising their role in Disney Plus reboot, the first that pops up is Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's not it.
Yeah, what was I looking at? It was just I don't think it was Malcolm in the Middle that I saw. It was that's gonna bother me. Trying to remember what I was looking at. Do, 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 do.
mm-mm.
Let's see.
Uh besides Malcolm in the Middle, even if I Gilmore Girls is one that I see an article of. I'm not um Prison Break is one.
Hmm,
Um
that was not it. Oh God. Well, that's gonna bother me.
oh I Know What You Did Last Summer, the horror movie, is rebooting with Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt.
I did see that.
Um I just saw that now. I thought never mind. I was gonna say I thought Jennifer Love Hewitt passed away, but I'm thinking of someone else.
I was gonna say no. She's alive and well.
Brittany Murphy was the one that I was thinking of that
Oh
passed
yeah,
away.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh God, what the heck was
White
it?
Collar reboot. By the way, I'm on page 2 now, and page 2 of Google is not anything anybody care about. Scrubs
Yeah,
is another one that's
Scrubs.
confirmed.
That's what it was. It was Scrubs.
Scrubs. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know how I
Damn,
forgot
that's
Scrubs.
on
Scrubs is
page
like,
2 of Google.
yeah, dude. I don't
That's no
know.
one cares about.
I don't know
Yeah.
when they even announced that. I don't know when I
Yeah.
even saw it. Scrubs was like one of my favorite shows. Like
Yeah. I haven't
growing
seen
up,
Scrubs, but it looked funny. Like,
it's worth a watch for sure.
okay.
Um, I feel like it was Scrubs. When I saw that, I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, dope.
Yeah.
But now that I'm thinking, I'm like, I feel like it was something else that I saw too. But I don't know. They're bringing back some shows that we grew up on.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, oh man, that's kind of cool.
They probably did some study that said like millennials are losing interest in shows.
Yeah.
But real quick, the next article, it's related as well to Disney Plus and the show. Speaking of reboots, or adaptation,
Mm,
in 2027, it's confirmed that Bluey will have a Disney adaptation, movie
yeah.
adaptation. Now, hear me out. We love Bluey. We talk about it often. Dustin, if you listen to us, miss you, bro. In Bluey. Um, Now Disney has been doing a couple adaptation that's dropping very soon in this next year, right? You
Yeah.
got you got the Lion King movie.
Yeah. Scar
Um,
or whatever.
yeah, Scar or Mufasa, right?
Mufasa.
I think
Technically,
it's
I think it's
Mufasa.
Mufasa, even though it gives
Yeah,
more of a backstory of Scar.
yeah. But however,
Um,
it's not the
no,
anime. It's
live
not the
action. Yeah.
animation. It's live action.
Or yeah,
You
live
have
action as you
Moana.
can be for that.
Yeah, you have Moana live action coming out soon,
Yeah.
which is basically just a remake of the first movie.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, call me a hater, um, but the Lion King adaptation, live adaptation, or live as it can be, right? CGI, whatever,
Yeah.
was horrible. People loved it, but people praise it, whatever. But I don't agree. Um, like, I mean, yeah, it had an all-star cast: Beyonce, Chance the Rapper, Donald Glover, right? On the cast. Um, um, but that doesn't make up for for me what I loved about the original animation was the faces, right?
Mm,
The emotions on the faces that the animals can portray, right? Simba, Nala, like they can portray emotions on their faces. It's because it's an animation, it's a fucking kids movie.
Yeah, yeah.
And then to make it a live action, I wouldn't say it's as scary or as badly animated as like the Polar Express, right? People still talk about how
Yeah.
scarily lifeless the eyes are. By the way, side note, because my uh Vanessa's little brother, half brother, right? He's a baby. So we went over to visit Chicago recently. I just got back,
Yeah.
and so he's into Polar Express now, mostly for the fact that he's into trains.
Yeah.
And so I was watching a little bit of like the scene he was on, and I was like, with all this time pass and all this technology, they couldn't remake it, you know,
Yeah.
or remaster it,
Mm.
to make it a little better. But anyways, going back to what we were saying about Bluey or about this live adaptation, I didn't like it, man, and I wouldn't like Mufasa either. Like, why couldn't they just make like or I don't know, man, maybe do like a CGI version, but obviously make it more you can tell not live, like more like
Yeah.
animated, I guess. But could be CGI. Sure, I could go for that, I guess.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it brings like to the point too, because we also have Lilo and Stitch coming out.
oh, yep,
Um,
that's the other one. That's the
that's the
other
other
live
one.
adaptation.
I don't know how I feel about that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I don't know if it's like more animated slash CGI than because like obviously you have people in that movie.
yeah, yeah,
Whereas like the Lion King obviously is all animals. I think it's kind of weird to try to do a live action of animals. I
yeah, yeah,
didn't mind the live action in quotation marks Lion King movie, but I didn't think it was great either, right?
yeah.
Um it was like when they and this is not necessarily related in that kind of way, but like Aladdin when that came out with live action,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
it was decent, but it was weird for sure.
yeah,
I think seeing like adaptations of movies that were or TV shows or whatever that were traditionally animated,
yeah.
um, not a lot of people have found a lot of success in that.
Hmm.
Over the years, you look, at other things, and there's other ones that obviously did well, but others that did not do well.
Yeah,
Um, like what was it, Avatar, Last Airbender, before they
yeah,
came out with the most recent version on Netflix. M. Night Shyamalan destroyed it. It was horrible.
yeah.
Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball, that kind of stuff. The original came out, or live
Honestly,
action,
the original
horrible.
live action of Dragon Ball from I looked up the trailer for that again.
Yeah,
It had nothing to do with Dragon Ball Z.
no, it didn't.
Nothing.
Yeah,
It was like
we're speaking
it
of
was like
movies that we should not be speaking of, and even
you're
giving
right.
credit for at this
That
point.
kind of pissed me off that the live action of Dragon Ball Z um had nothing to do with Dragon Ball Z. It was almost as like I got a perfect exaggerated example. Imagine like um they're doing a movie adaptation of the game Halo, right? But instead it has nothing to do with aliens.
Yeah,
It's set in the setting of the movie is in 19 or early 2000s Los Angeles, and it's a love movie starring um what's her name, Ryan Reynolds' wife, right?
Blake Lively. Yeah.
Yeah, the only reason why she popped in my head is because Vanessa's been watching uh is it Gilmore Girls, or what's the one that she was in, the one of
Blake
those,
Lively.
yeah, yeah, Gilmore Girls, or what's the one in New York, Spoiled High School Kids. I didn't even know she was in that until Vanessa started watching it. I don't like it, by the way.
Um,
I think they're so overly dramatic.
Gossip Girl is what you're talking about.
Gossip Girls,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I didn't know that was her breakout roles in Gossip Girls. Um, yeah, because of that,
Yeah.
was horrible. Gilmore Girls sucks as well. And don't get me and this and no, don't get me wrong. Like, oh, Steven, you're such a guy. I love watching Love Island, reality shows, Love Is Blind. Yeah, I love those shows. I love Taylor Swift as well. So don't say, "Oh, Steven, you're talking like a guy." No, I'm telling you from a objective standpoint, Gilmore Girls, Gossip Girls sucks. Um, Yeah, so
That's
don't even
hilarious.
get me you get me started on that. But anyways, going back to the article, Bluey, I think the reason why they are holding it for 2027, I think Disney is trying to like test out if all
Yeah.
these live
Yeah. Yeah.
adaptations are going to
Yeah.
be successful or not. Because dude, Blueys are made up blue colored dogs. You're gonna do a live adaptation of that? I don't know yet.
Yeah.
It didn't really give more examples besides that. Besides that, Bluey and Disney signed a contract. But man, I would flip a table if I saw a live action Bluey. I don't know. I don't know if I could take it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Because obviously you have to over dramatize the blue in Bluey.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there's obviously like real healers.
Yeah.
Um, and I would say the other characters like Bingo and Heaps and all that stuff like have a healer that kind of looks like them. Versus Bluey, like they have like blue marrows and that kind of stuff, but they're not like blue, like
Yeah.
like that colored blue, I should say.
Yeah. It's
Um,
gonna be a bunch of Barney costumes walking
but
around in
I'm
this
saying
movie.
like like the other dogs, yeah, they have kind of a match, but like it's kind of funny because like Bluey's like those dogs like aren't that color blue. They're like it's more like a gray, right? They're more
Yeah. Yeah.
grayish, but that kind of look blue.
Yeah.
Um, so anyways,
I mean,
I
like, I just thought of this recently. I just thought of this now before I forget. You remember when Sonic the Hedgehog was
holy
reborn in
shit,
movie adaptation? You
that
remember
was
the
the
first
whew,
yeah, you remember the first meme that came out that made the directors um change it like after their premiere? Like
yeah,
Sonic had like human looking teeth
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
people are like, what the fuck? And then they had to like re-edit it like literally it was already premiered, so it's already released, but they had to remaster and re-release it so
yeah,
that Sonic the Hedgehog, even though it's a live adaptation, has to look like an animated character, like a
yeah,
fake character. That I can get away with. That's what I'm trying to say with like Mufasa, Lion King. Like, I don't know, make it a little bit more animated instead of trying to um personify them, right?
yeah,
Yeah, like might as well have a animal body and just have the voice actor's actual face, as the head
yeah.
of the animals,
No, honestly, yeah, and I think that brings up a point. Like we've seen like cartoon type of things come into in mesh with real world things. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah,
trying to get it as realistic as possible. I don't know if it's the best route to go.
yeah.
Because I think back to like Who Framed Roger Rabbit or Space Jam or
Yep,
any of
yep,
those
yep,
movies
yep.
that were
And
very
they
much
worked.
like
I'm not gonna lie, they worked. They
yeah, those ones worked. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Like Lilo and Stitch, I don't know how to feel about it. It's gonna be a mixture of two, so I don't know if it's gonna be more like the Polar Express, where it's kind of
Mhm.
CGI, where obviously they take the renderings of people's faces and then like put them in the movie and it makes them more like CGI type.
Yeah,
Or if they're trying to really go for like a live action with with Stitch, and because
yeah,
they just released like a 26-second trailer today with Stitch.
yeah,
So it was kind of interesting, and I don't know if like you almost do it like Ted, that like vulgar teddy bear with Mark
yeah, yeah,
Wahlberg.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
feel like that would be kind of like a way to do it. Or
yeah. I
or
can
no, no,
see
no.
that.
Even Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
I haven't seen that one yet.
If you I
Was it
mean that
pretty
one's
good?
pretty good. That one's pretty
I heard it
good.
was. I heard it was a good movie.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Yeah,
Some of the Pokemon I was like, oh, that's weird. But then it's like, well, I don't know how I would picture them in real life. I guess that's actually pretty close. So Detective Pikachu is a pretty good example of how they
mm,
blended that stuff. And I think they did a
yeah,
good, job, like a good job doing Pikachu and in like some of the other Pokemon, Mewtwo and all that stuff. Mewtwo is
yeah,
obviously more human kind of forming anyways than
yeah.
some of the other ones. But yeah, no, I mean, like some of them, you're like, oh god, they're ugly. I'm like, well, you have to think about it too. Like, how would it actually look in real life, kind of thing.
Yeah,
I think that's a good one to even base that up. Maybe that's what they're doing with Lilo and Stitch, but I guess we'll see.
yeah,
But like a fully based cartoon around animals.
Yeah.
Like I just didn't think it worked super well with like the Lion King,
Yeah.
because
I
there's
didn't think
no
so
like
either.
humans in there to like really kind of blend things in, and it's just a
Yeah.
little odd. Um, and then I don't know if while we're talking about adaptations and everything. I don't know if you've seen the release. It was about a month ago at this point. Minecraft. Do you see that?
No, but I heard that they were releasing a movie.
Yeah. So that's supposed to come out like next year,
Yeah.
like 2025, and they like, I mean, there's a trailer, so I would say watch it. But like that one's interesting because I'm like, I don't know how I feel about a Minecraft movie. Like that's
Yeah.
obviously like 8-bit like pixel type of thing, and there's obviously like going to be characters in it. Like I think Jack Black is in it. I don't know
Yeah.
if he's actually playing like a blocky character. I can't remember. It's been a while. Um, but it's like Jason Momoa's in there, and I'm just like, what the heck?
It's like, yeah, like, I mean, honestly, like my younger, my nephew,
Yeah,
he's 4. He's, I don't know how, I don't track like what they're into. I just go over one weekend and they're into like first one weekend he was into Spider-Man heavy.
yeah,
Second weekend, he was into Super Mario.
yeah, yeah.
Um, the last weekend that I saw, now I'm exaggerating about weekend to weekend, but this is how fast
Right, right,
kids
right,
like.
right, right.
Yeah, and last weekend, he was into Ninja Turtles, and now this weekend he's into Minecraft.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if like, the Minecraft movie, it's just a money grab, man. Kids these days
No,
are
no,
getting
no.
into
It is.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Minecraft's been very popular for a very
Right,
long
right, right.
time, right?
But now,
But
right,
now
like with
it's
the kids,
with the
it's
kids, it's
back.
even more
Yeah,
popular. And now that they're trying to bring out a movie, which, I just looked back real quick at the trailer just now, and it's real life. Like there's these players, Jesus, NPCs. We're
yeah,
talking NPCs right now. Jason Momoa, like Jack Black, like Emma Myers, Jennifer Coolidge, and all that stuff. They're
yeah.
actually in the movie, but they go into Minecraft. Essentially, they find a portal or whatever it is and get into
Gotcha.
the Minecraft world. But then everything's blocky, and then like I think the main poster for Minecraft is like a bee, so it's just a cube bee kind of thing. So if you look it up, you'll
Yeah.
see. But it's
Okay.
interesting to see that. But again, that's leaning more towards the like live but
Hmm.
somewhat CGI, like Detective Pikachu kind of vibes.
Yeah.
So I could see this one working. Um, Definitely a money grab in terms of Minecraft. Like, why do you need that? But hey, there's a lot of movies that we don't necessarily need either. So I don't know. Yeah. But to
Um.
your point though, I agree that I wasn't necessarily the biggest fan of the live action Lion King. Like
Yeah.
it was kind of cool at first, but I was like, I don't know. I just don't know. Just didn't knock my socks off or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, all right, cool, I guess. But again, trying to make money, it's a money grab. Like, let's bring this to real life and see if we can get more people to watch it.
Hmm.
And so,
Let's see. Apparently, uh, never mind. Um.
yeah, I
Trying to
think the
look up.
story that we'll get with Mufasa and Scar will be an interesting one. Like
The story's great, but
I would watch it just for the story. I just don't know how much I would like the live action animal type of thing.
yeah.
Not really. I don't know. If I'm going to watch live action animals, I'd feel like National Geographic is just fine. A documentary on any animal is just fine. I don't need it to be like characters.
Yeah.
I will say, yeah, like I said, Avatar was good with Appa. He was in Momo and the small animals that were in that movie. But again, don't know. I don't know.
I
Sometimes we don't need
actually
that stuff.
I'm looking up scenes of Dragon Ball Evolution from 2009. Did you ever
Okay.
watch it?
Yeah.
So maybe I'm wrong, but I guess it was related to Dragon Ball Z. Like they
I
actually
think
tried to.
that one was a little bit.
Because I'm looking at, I swear, wasn't there another Dragon Ball from earlier where
Yeah, there
like
was, and it was horrible.
yeah, where
You can't
like
even probably find it anymore. It's probably
yeah, that's why I'm like having a hard time finding
scorched
it.
off the internet because it was that
Yeah,
bad.
like I recall that bad Dragon Ball that I'm thinking of. Like wasn't it like a like I'm exaggerating, but didn't it look like a remake of like Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, and then they just slapped Dragon Ball on there?
Yeah,
Like right, like it had nothing to do with actually Dragon Ball Z, but they used the name, right?
yeah, it was something like that. I know there was. Well, didn't they do a live action in like the '90s or something too?
I don't know about that one. I'm
'Cause
just kind
Dragon
of
Ball
thinking like,
Evolution. I
but
don't
Dragon
know.
Ball Evolution, like I'm looking
That
at
was it was pretty bad. I can't. No, that was a
it
horrible.
looks bad. It looks like a B-rated Power Ranger movie. You know, I love how like all the side casts are like all like Asian, and then the main character is like a white guy with spiky
Yeah.
hair.
Yep.
All right, it's
It's
pissing
not
me off.
great.
I clicked out of it. I don't want to look at it anymore.
Yeah, it's
Oh man,
dude, yeah, when they try to get live action from anime, it's just it so many times it does not work. Does not work.
it's like I understand you tried to hit the largest population,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and so you try to get a lead character that's like, you know, similar to your largest population, like AKA white, but it does not work. Um, I'm sure M. Night Shyamalan ruined the first Avatar movie because he wanted to have a better cast, but production was like, "Oh no, we need to make sure he's white as possible, you know, to cater to our population."
Yeah.
And so M. Night Shyamalan's like, "All right, how can I ruin this stupid movie? I'm already paid, so how can I just ruin it?"
This is the
Um,
worst. Golly.
yeah. Um, but yeah, man. Anyways,
Yeah.
um,
I just don't, yeah, I don't know. A lot of them don't work out that well. And it's kind of
yeah,
just like, oh God.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of it'll be interesting to see some of these things. I don't know. They just don't really cross over that well when they go from anime to live action.
Yeah.
At least in the anime world, I feel like it's kind of hard. Like they just can't do a lot of the things that
I'm looking up wait. I'm looking up the trailer for Moana. Um wait, hold on. Am I watching a hold on. Is it Zendaya that's in it?
huh? In
Or did I
Moana,
watch a fake trailer?
you might have walked a fake trailer. I don't think
Uh,
Zendaya's in it.
yeah, because I never mind. Yeah, it's a fake trailer. It's not Zendaya. Yeah, okay. Why would they post Zendaya as the a lot of the fake ones have Zendaya as the lead cast,
Oh,
but in the official article, it's some other Hawaiian girl.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think yeah. I was
Zendaya
gonna
is not
say
even Islander.
yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was gonna say that the person they have cast for Moana, I think it'll be like her big screen debut. Like she's not
yeah,
acted in
because
it.
the girl, the main character who starred for the voice of Moana number one and number two, she didn't want to do the live action. I knew that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but I didn't know who was casted as the live action Moana, and so I just kind of like Googled it, and they had the trailer, and it showed Zendaya, and I'm just like, what the fuck? But it's not the official trailer. There's not even an official trailer yet.
Yeah, there's not an official trailer yet.
Yeah, it's easy to use AI because like you just say The Rock, you know, and The Rock is already like a big dude and he's already the original voice actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like super easy to like AI him into it, but then all the AI trailers are using Zendaya as like their face.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, um, it's all the time we got left. Before we wrap it up, call it good night. Um, any final thoughts?
I just Happy New Year. Have a safe one, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Have a safe New Year. And we'll see you in 2025.
Yep. We'll see you then. Happy New Year's. Thanks, Ben. As we're signing off, it's the same sign off as it is at the end of the year to the start of the new year. You know, continue to be there for one another, support each other, talk with each other, think together, keep growing together. And that's all we can do to continue to be better as a society and as a community. So keep doing everything together. We'll see y'all next time.